So welcome to Grimsby America, only on the False 9 TV channel. And as you can see, this is a different setup than I normally have here on how I do these videos, a different layout and a different presentation from how I normally do these videos. So I would like to ask you, if you're watching this, to please leave me comments on actually what we're talking about. Yes, but please leave me comments on if you prefer videos that are like this, or if you prefer my previous format where it's a little bit heavy, a little bit more heavier edited, and a little bit more flashy, I guess you could say. But when I do them like this, it's a little more raw, it's a little more content, a little more me rambling with actual thoughts. I'm not editing out a lot of the things that I say. I figured we would try it and see how it goes. So please leave me some feedback in the comments and let me know if you prefer this outlook or the previous one. And the reason I've got this up right now is just because I wanted to say that I made this video. This is the last video I made, I think maybe 3 days ago, and it's actually doing a lot better than I thought. So just a shameless plug that if you haven't done so already, you should totally go watch this video and watch me not be able to pronounce a lot of teams and cities in England. But let's go ahead and get this out of the way. So, as you know, on Grimsby America, we talk about the ladies first. And let me go ahead and scroll down. And there's a couple of things I want to go over with the ladies. They did kick off their first competitive match of the year. I believe it's called the Adobe FA Cup. And things started off a little bit bleak. And if you remember their previous game, the previous couple of games, really, they've not really necessarily they looked okay their last game, but before that, they kind of hit a hiccup. So I was a little worried on what might happen. And they gave up a goal here in the 20, if you can see on the screen. And this is another advantage, too, is I can actually more, I guess, easily show you what I'm talking about, too. If you look on here, they gave up a goal in the 23rd minute. And of course, my first thought was like, oh no. Well, when it counts, of course, this is what's going to happen. But Millie North stepped up, and she actually made two decently quick goals in a row. Let's see. I don't know what minute this one was. This was around the 26th minute, I believe. And then she scored again in the 33rd minute. And but I believe it was 2-1 and half. Yeah, 2-1 at halftime. And then it got quiet for a little bit until kind of chaos happened. Here in the 81st minute, I believe this was this Abby that did this? Let me see. Oh, this was Beth's goal. Of course, it was Beth, right? So she scored the third goal, and then on the fourth goal, it was that the hat trick from Millie? No, this was Abby's goal, and then the last goal was the hat trick for Millie. So they ended up scoring 5 goals and took the game 5-1, and it was definitely obviously a shaky start, but the ladies settled in, and they ended up pulling this one out pretty easily. But there's something here I want to show you guys that I thought was awesome right here. Okay, I don't really want to play the video because I don't want to upset anyone or take credit. I don't know how they would like it if I showed it. So I'm just going to pause it and show you right here. And I urge you to, if you can, go watch this video, because I've been advocating quite a lot for them to get their games on YouTube. If you follow me on X, you know that I definitely do support the ladies, and I know some of you others do too. And to me, it's just something cool to do on Sunday. It's kind of a nice follow up to, if the boys play bad, the ladies typically pick up the slack and end the weekend on a good note. American football is not something that necessarily gets me going, so I would actually prefer to watch the ladies on Sunday anyway. And but to my surprise, and I'm very thankful for this, they put up the goals actually for the ladies that happened in the game. And if you can see here, it looks like it's maybe again, I don't want to play it, but it looks like it's maybe someone at midfield got a camera. And see, to me, if they broadcasted home games on YouTube, even if it's just, and as you can see, you don't necessarily have a great view of who's getting the goal or anything like that. But who cares? Get the ladies some exposure. And to me, I've got nieces. I've got two beautiful nieces. I want daughters myself, even though my wife wants sons. So we'll see who wins that battle. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of girls out there that love football too, and some of these ladies gives them something to look up to, and the more exposure they get, I think, obviously, the better for the club, and the better for our little girls too. And I think the team is built actually quite nice. They've got a good mix of some really young girls. I think as young as 16, and they've also got some veterans on the club. This is just a very well built club, in my opinion. The girls' club, and yeah, I'm happy to see that they've got at least the goals that you can watch. And I did see this evening that they got another draw. Here it is. They drew their next game against the Leeds Mods women. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but it looks like they play on the 21st. So I believe that is not this Sunday, but next Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. But or maybe the Sunday after. But that's their next game in the Adobe Women's FA Cup. So on 21st, hey, if you're in Grimsby, by all means, if you got nothing else to do, I urge you to go watch them. If it's at a home game, I don't know if it's a home game actually, but either way, happy to see all this. So that's what's going on with the ladies. So next we'll go on to lads on loan, but again, I'm going to skip that. So the next portion is the previous game's notes and things I want to talk about. So, man, what a game that was, huh? Against MK Dons at MK Dons. Which, and I do want to say, and I saw some people point this out. That stadium is absolutely beautiful. It's just such a shame that it's that it's home to the MK Dons. And some game notes that I've got written down here. And I'll get into my final thoughts in a minute. But in the 9th minute, I mean, I wish I could do that meme with the seagull where it's like fucking Greeny. But yeah, he obviously had a hell of a goal there in the 9th minute. And I wanted to shout, of course, I'm going to have to give a shout out to the goalkeeper, Pim. In the 14th minute, he had a nice pass, and it led up to just a nice little build-up. Of course, it didn't result in a goal or anything like that, but it was quality, and I wanted to shout that out. And here in I believe it was the 21st minute, Burns had just this insanely flashy razzmatazz move and a pass to Kabia, and I definitely wanted to shout that out. And after that, it was basically, as you can see here on the scoreboard, it was boom, boom, and then red card. And if I was editing the video, I probably would have had that Costco guy where he's just like, boom, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, let's just forget I ever said that. So the first half, I mean, we were rolling in the first half, and as obviously everybody here knows. And then something changed. But in the 48th minute, the passing looked actually very good. To me, it looked like we were going to just close the game off and maybe in this game 5-0 and get some of the younger guys some time or the subs some time. But then a whole lot of nothing happened. As you can see by the goals, I mean, we had the own goal here, but I've got no opinion on that. I mean, just sometimes mistakes happen, right? But I think it was the 71st minute. There's a debut for Soonsup Bell, which I don't have an opinion on him yet. Let me know in the comments if you have an opinion on him already. I didn't see enough of him to really get anything out of it, especially when we were basically clinging on for our lives there in the final 10, 15 minutes. But, my thoughts on this game were we definitely, in my opinion, got complacent. And it looked like we were, I described it as we were storming the beaches of Normandy, and instead of doing things the tactical way, the smart way, we just dropped all of our equipment and darted toward the hills. Right? It was completely unsafe and could have ended at any time, but we wanted to try to get to the finish line the quickest way possible versus the smartest way possible. And that's the best way I can describe this. But on the flip side, right, just to play devil's advocate here, I know we didn't necessarily look the best in the second half, but this was against a pretty strong side, MK Dons. I mean, I think a lot of people had them winning the league in their preseason predictions, and I think I even actually did, or at least I had them getting an automatic playoff spot. So even though we didn't necessarily look the best in the second half, I think that red card forced them to play a very specific way. And credit to them, they played good, and they darn near came out with a draw. That last play was a little bit too close for comfort for me. But I will say that again, yes, it was ugly to end the game, but it's a win, and it was a win against a pretty strong side. So all things considered, there are some things to it. When it ended, it seemed like I hate to say it seemed like we had something to hang our heads down on because it did. But at the end of the day, it actually was a pretty solid win against a solid team. So that's what I've got to say about that. Let me know in the comments if you want to add anything to that. And then lastly is our next game against Cambridge United, who they don't have their new badge updated there, but I hate their new crest. I don't know about you guys, but I hate that new crest. But anyway, that's beyond what we're talking about here. So it's the return of Easty. Jake Eastwood comes back into town. I'm going to go over a couple little storylines here. And overall, all-time head-to-head is actually pretty even. And I believe in the last 3 games, we got the better of them, I believe, in the last game, and then they won the previous 2. But I think that stat's kind of useless just because we've only played them 3 times this decade. And I think the last game was maybe 3 seasons ago. So I don't think there's really much you could read into about head-to-heads or recent head-to-heads. But some of the things about to look into, or I guess to look forward to for this game, is their form is kind of up and down. It's a bit like Grimsby. I think we're obviously a much better team, much stronger team, especially going forward. But their defense is pretty good. Their defense is nothing to take lightly. But I do think we have the players that are going to overpower their defense, even though their defense is pretty good. In fact, their best player, I would argue, this year has been Kalen Watts, the defender for them, who I think even has a goal this year. But Eastwood's played very good, actually. And their top scorer currently is James, forgive me if I'm saying this wrong, Brophy. He already, if I'm not mistaken, he already has tied his career high in goals. So has he benefited possibly from them being demoted down to League Two? Maybe. But at the same time, I don't think he's going to keep that up. So I do think they're going to I don't want to say cool off massively. I don't think their defense, they're going to. Yeah, let me reword that. I think they have an okay form. Their form is okay right now, but I don't think they're going to continue playing at the level that they have been defensively. And I don't think Brophy is going to continue scoring basically at will like he has right now. And if you take out Brophy, I believe they've only had 2 other goal scorers this year, and one of them being the defender. Let's see, what else can we get into here? They're about middle of the roll in terms of goals for. They do like to keep the ball. And I think their average possession is not quite Chesterfield, but it is flirting around sub 60%. And that's about really all I think there's worth to note here. So my predictions for this game are, I think that, and if actually, I love the fact that Grimsby either starts off fast or ends strong. And I think this is going to be a game where we run at them pretty quickly. And I don't think what happened last game is going to happen at all. We have too strong of players, too strong of a manager to let something like that happen again. I think, to me, this has the makings of a 2-0 game. I'm going to say we get a goal early and a goal midway through the second half. And I think we're going to have them in our pocket the entire time. I think we're going to shut them down. And I don't think they're. Now, are we prone to mistakes? Yeah, obviously we are. It seems like every game we have a one or two that could cost us, and sometimes they do cost us. But I think we're going to be able to keep a clean sheet in this game, 2-0. And let me know in the comments what your prediction for the game is. And I think that's going to do it for today's Grimsby America for this week. So again, let me know in the comments what you thought of this format. Let me know if you liked it, hated it, or if you want to see more to get an opinion on it. That's also fair. It's definitely easier for me than editing a bunch of videos, that's for sure. But I want to do what you guys like and what you guys prefer, because at the end of the day, that's why I do it. And I wouldn't be able to have the subscribers that I have right now if it wasn't for you all. So let me know what you guys liked better. And let's see, it's Tuesday night right now. I'm probably going to do a quick edit on this and post it tonight. So you'll probably be seeing this on Wednesday. So I hope everyone here has a good hump day. And like I say in every video, if you're hoping for something this week, I hope it comes true for you. Be safe. And again, thank you guys for everything. Peace out, guys.